All right, off to the Blazers, because the Portland Trail Blazers at this point last season were the fun surprise team of the season, saying, a lot of their starters returned. I'm sorry, at this point last season, none of their starters returned, except for Damian Lillard. C.J. McCollum was starting to break out as a tremendously talented shooting guard, playing alongside Lillard, and Terry Stotts had the whole team in line, and their offense was becoming more powerful, and they were going to the playoffs. But now, they're still technically the 8th seed at this point in the season, but they're below 500, and their defensive rating is as low as it possibly can get, save for one spot. They're 29th. It's so unfortunate because there's not that many quick answers as to what is going on with the Blazers record. Now, they did come off a strong win on Tuesday against the Lakers. They blew them out, 25 points. McCollum's been on a tear, and Lillard is still... Barstool Sports has something called hurt or injured, right? And I think this is actually a good segment because the idea of it is that person, is there actually something that's really holding them back, or are they just a little bit banged up? And I think Lillard is just right now hurt still. So he's slowly getting there. He's deferring his scoring to McCollum. Here's his numbers, by the way, over the last 7 games. 7 games, 32.7 points, which over the last 7 games would be good to lead the NBA in scoring on 54.1% shooting. What? Through the roof. Francis, the Blazers are a fun team to root for, a team that we want to do better, a team we want to see rise the standings. Terry Stotts is a tremendous coach. Can they get back on track? What does their schedule look like?
So the schedule right now coming up is... just as we do this clip, which will go up tomorrow, they'll probably be blown out. They're playing the Cavs, right, which is the next game tonight.
Kyle Korver's Cavs.
Yeah, Kyle Korver's Cavs. But then they have an interesting game against the Magic, and then they go on the road against the Wizards. The
Wizards? You keep doing one. They're playing John Wall, and that is it. Who else are they playing?
This is when you know that we spend way too much time together because you do this.
According to Francis, we have the Cavalier.
We're playing against LeBron, which I'd still say is going to be a tough game. The Magic up against Dwight Howard.
The Wizard.
And then John Wall.
And then the Hornet.
Kemba. They're going to come up against Kemba. This is when you know we spend way too much time together because you start this trend and it becomes infectious. You say the Chief, and now everyone is only going to be one person. So... To get back to base, they have to play the Cavaliers today. This clip's probably already been up, so I'm going to assume, based on the Cavs, that the Cavs have traveled to Portland and taken a dub. And then I'm going to, I don't know, it can happen. The Cavaliers...
it's a back-to-back. They play last night.
Back-to-back, and then they play... So then they travel and they play Friday the 13th against the Magic. Let's hope it's not too unlucky for them. And then they play the Wizards and the Hornets.
Wizards, are they at Washington?
They're at both.
So Washington has been on a tear at their home court.
Yes.
They're bad on the road. They're still not a good basketball team. But they've been playing better as of late and might have a second half surge in them, but not a team that I can necessarily take too seriously. So that's actually a tough game in Washington, but it's just a different style of effort, I think, defensively.
Yeah.
And part of it they think, at least according to McCollum, is a lot of guys got paid, so they kind of got their wish, but some players, I don't think that they're playing less now that they have their contracts, but it seemed like there was something on the table last year that was more than just getting to the playoffs. And I don't want to discredit a defensive effort, but I'm going to show you the numbers. And this season, you can have the 8th highest scoring offense in the league. It doesn't do you much if you're going to let up more points than you can score. I kind of took the top 5 to show you what the best teams in the league are doing, and that includes the Grizzlies and Utah Jazz, yes, as one of the best defensively rated teams in the league. And they're as bad as the Nets, Lakers, Knicks, Nuggets, and Timberwolves when it comes to their defensive rating. 113.14. Their net rating in terms of how many points they're scoring compared to how many points that they're giving up is bad. And that's part of the reason that they're 17 and 23. And just to put that in perspective, if they had the 20th or 15th ranked defense, they'd be 23 and 17. Yeah. That's all it would be, a big switch.
I think it's remarkable that we talk so much about how good, I know this is another tangent,
the Grizzlies and Jazz.
No, how good the Golden State Warriors are, and then you look at the defensive ratings, but we're talking so much about how good they are and how much they're outscoring teams by like 125.
When you score 173 points a game.
But it's remarkable that they still consider to be a great defensive team, even though we just focus on how good offensively they are. But there's something to what you're mentioning. We don't want to just clutch at straws. There could be another reason behind the scenes that we don't know about. I don't like to, in my mind, when I think about sports, assume that players are just playing for the team because there's a deal on the table, or if you finish this at this
Crabbe,
position.
Evan Turner.
But that's the way these things work, unfortunately, is that when you are a team like the Portland Trailblazers, who notoriously get shafted because they lose some of their best players, when you lose someone like LaMarcus Aldridge to the Spurs, they had something going there in Portland. They had something with LaMarcus Aldridge, Damian Lillard, and their fan base as well, because I have a lot of friends of mine that I mentioned that are Portland fans, and there's something about the Northwest that gets behind their teams. They get really behind their teams. Rip City is rocking when everyone's behind that team, but defensively, they are struggling at the moment. And it's not any personnel issue. Yeah, they could do with another couple of players, but it's effort.
Yeah, it's a team issue.
It seems like a mentality thing. It's an effort that they need to be putting in. And when the Trailblazers were coming up against the Clippers 2 seasons ago, and they were proven to be one of the biggest problems, and even last season against the Golden State Warriors, it was because it was a collective effort. They were frustrating their opponents, who were on paper by far superior than them. And I think that that's, in a way, a little bit missing at the moment. And it's early days. You've still got a long way to go in this season. And if they do manage to put a good run together and you get Damian Lillard back healthy and C.J. McCollum still shooting in the way that he's shooting at the moment, it's all about that defensive efficiency has to improve if you're going to be the team that everyone hates to play, because that's what the Trailblazers are when you play them at home. They're the team that you don't want to go up against with their backs against the wall, because they have
constant trap game.
Yeah, they have the ability.
I'll leave you on the quote, the last quote, which goes back to I think the end of November, but it's important because it still reigns true today. Element number 5, it says the older Lillard quote. He was really frustrated after when they got blown out by 45 points against the Golden State Warriors earlier in the season. And he said it's okay to turn the ball over. It's okay to make mistakes. You got to play with some damn heart and compete.
There you go.
This isn't what the coaches are doing. This is on us. Good leadership. But he also said this shit is ridiculous, which is exactly what DeMarcus Cousins says. This is ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. We'll add it in post. Throw to angry DeMarcus Cousins saying everything is ridiculous.
I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
But did it come out of your mouth accidentally? Is that what happened?
Yes, man. This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.